Sup nerds! Welcome back to my channel, guys! I'm so excited for today's video. As you guys saw by the title, we'll be doing my monthly reading wrap-up for the month of January. January's over, y'all. I made a joke to my family. I was kind of like, okay, 2024 starts now. Like, January was the trial month, now February, let's get the ball rolling. My sister was like, no, because she's doing whatever. Point being, you know, some people, January was a trial month, other people, it was the real deal. So, comment down below, was it the real deal for you or was it the trial month? I still can't decide what it is for me. Anyway, we are going through all the books that I read, obviously, in January. First, if you guys like monthly reading wrap-ups, if you guys like talking about books, if you guys like all the nerdy things, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's just get started. I can't even remember how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I read 14 books this month, which actually, like, as of a couple days ago, I had only read, like, 12 books, and then I, like, banged out a couple right at the end the last few days here. But I really, again, a lot of this month, I was not sitting here like read. I honestly watched a lot of TV. I was watching a lot of Chicago Fire. I've started it from the beginning a while back, but I just like started it back up. Like I watched a lot, you know what I mean? And so I was not like just reading, but I still read 15 books. Some of them are a little bit quicker paced, which I think is why, but like, I don't know, I'm very proud of that. Proud of 14 books, especially because I thought it was going to be way smaller, but I feel really comfortable and happy with the way that I read this month, because I don't feel like I was stressed or like, oh my gosh, I have to read. I don't feel like I was overwhelmed or anything like that. I felt like it was perfect, and honestly, I'm like so glad that I did it that way. So anyway, let's start off with the beginning of the month. Okay. All these books everywhere. Okay, so I actually started off the month with Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I could see how people were loving this, like, love this series. I guess I could see how people like this book, I should say. It's enjoyable, it's enticing, I don't know, you're like hooked from the beginning. I think where this one is downfall is that this one was written in I think 2014, something like that. It was written a long time ago. Hold on, I found it a while ago. I think it's 2013, something like that. 2012. Like, so it was, you know, that's the only downfall, and obviously you can't change that now, but I gave it 4 stars. I did enjoy it. I think it's a nice series. I think this third book will make or break the series for me, so just hold on that thought. Then I read Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. I believe I gave this 3.5 stars. I could be wrong. I have it on my iPad. Goodreads, come on. It's 2024. I know you guys can do point stars. Like, I know you guys can do it. Yes, I gave it 3.5 stars. I liked this book. There's a lot to like about this book. I feel like this book is, I don't know how to explain it. I've explained it so much that I don't want to keep reiterating the same points over and over again. I just feel like the author really wanted you to feel a certain way. Like, oh my gosh, this girl is ending up with the bad guy and like he's morally great. Like, I feel like she really wanted you to feel that, but like you don't feel it naturally. It's not organic. It's just you feel that way because she's telling you to feel that way, the author. It's not really like it's happening, and obviously the author's not literally telling you, but the way the story's written, it's not natural. It doesn't flow very well. And so I think that, I don't know, it just is, I'm waiting for the next book, you know, I'm gonna read the next book. It's just not one that I think is, it's not fourth wing, you know, it's not like flawless, it's not like up there perfect, you know. I think there's a little bit to it that takes a few stars off. That's not my favorite, so I gave that one 3.5 stars. Again, it's not bad by any means, or else I will tell you if it's bad, but I just feel like don't go in there with too high of expectations. But then I read Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I like this book. I think I also gave this one 4 stars. I enjoyed this book. I thought it was good. I don't think it was Divine Rivals standard. I think Divine Rivals was up here, and then Ruthless Vows was like down here. I just felt like I just felt obvious. It's hard because it's like, what do you even do next after you just made this incredible book? Like, obviously you're supposed to make a really good book, but it's kind of hard because the way she ended Divine Rivals, there was like, what else are you gonna do? The thing is that you built this whole time, so this was in my opinion, so Divine Rivals, you build this whole thing where like they're enemies, you're kind of wanting them to get together. Well, finally they get together and you have this happy world. Well, then they're torn apart again. So then you like go backwards, and I don't like that. So then they're literally not together until like the last chapter. Okay, it was like the ending, and I'm like, okay, boring. It was just like not for me. I mean, it wasn't bad. Obviously, I gave it 4 stars. It was good. I love Rebecca Ross's writing, and I can't wait to see what else she does with this world. But I think it could have been better. All right. And then I read the worst book I could have ever read. Never by Jessa Hastings. It has all the right things. It has a beautiful cover, has floppy pages. It's a very quick read. I gave this book 2 stars. This is by Jessa Hastings. I don't know if I said this. This is basically like a Peter Pan. It's not a retelling. It's like if Peter Pan grew up, basically. I think he's 18 in this, so it's like a few years after like Peter Pan takes place. And I just think it had a lot of, it had a lot of good. And I think that's why I hate it so much, because the entire like 85% of this book is incredible. Like, it was so good. You're like hooked, and like you're in it, you know what I mean? The last like whatever percentage that is, the rest of the book ruins the whole thing. It was like, what did I even read this book for if you're just gonna literally be like, scratch all of that, you know, like cancel everything we just did. I played you, joke's on you. Like, I hate that kind of like, it's just, it annoys me so bad, and I'm like, yeah, no. 2 stars. I probably could give it 1 star. I think the only reason I didn't give it 1 star is because the cover is literally stunning, like literally gorgeous, and I need to give it a star for that. And then the text is floppy. And Jessa Hastings, her writing is good. Like, she's very, like, she really captured, you know, like, my attention. I was in it, you know what I mean? I just feel like the ending was, it was just like, I don't want to say a cash grab. I feel like it was just like, it was stupid. That's all I'll say. Okay? It was stupid, and that's how I feel. Okay, then I read, oh my gosh, my favorite book of the month. This is my favorite book of the month. I have to, like, number 1, nothing beat it. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid. Wow, that sounded weird to me. Oh my gosh, I was so surprised by this. This was actually, I was reading a book out of my comfort zone. That's why I had read this one, because I did a video. And honestly, I thought this book was so good. I loved the characters. It's like, it's a fake story, but like, it feels so real. You feel like you know these characters. You just want to like, I don't know, jump in there with them, and like you can picture, that's the thing too, you can picture everything that's happening so easily because the writing is just perfect and the story is incredible and it's creative, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're like, you're like, you feel for these people, you're mad with these characters, like they're just, you feel everything that they feel. And I love this book. I thought it was perfectly written, and again, it's a book out of my comfort zone. It's not something I've ever read. I don't even know where to put it on my shelf because I'm like, I can't put it on my romance and then I can't put it on fantasy, so I'm like, I don't know where to put it. I don't know where to put it. And then I'm like, I have a bunch of miscellaneous, but for a few miscellaneous, but they're all from book of the month for the most part, so I'm like, I don't know what to do with it because it's so like unique, but I love it so much, to my collection I should say. I love it so much. If you could not tell, I was freaking 5 stars, 6 bajillion stars. I love that book so much. All right, another 5-star. I really did enjoy this book. That is Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I almost said Taylor Jenkins Reid. Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Killer Instinct. I thought this book was also so good. Obviously, I gave it 5 stars. I think it's just like so much fun. Again, this is another one where you kind of just want to jump in. You want to be with these characters. You want to be a natural. You want to be with like living with them. They all live together, so it's a fun time. Then they solve it, like it's just everything is a fun time. And I think these books are so like, they're so fast paced, and they're so well written that like you read it in a like step. I'm about to read the 3rd one. I'm about to start the 3rd one, and I'm so excited about it. I love these books. I love the characters. I know a lot of people, like, I don't necessarily have a favorite character. I like them all together. I think they all balance each other, like, perfectly. So I'm really excited to see what other books are, like, how the rest of the books are like, I should say. Because both of these books, the first 2 books in that series are 5 stars. So I'm like, number 3 better be a 5-star, honey. All right, then I have to pop in a picture. Whoa, I looked crazy. All right, then I have to pop in a picture because I read Lethal Vows by T.L. Smith. I ended up giving this book 3 stars. I honestly can't even remember too much about it. I think it was just, oh, I remember. The father like arranges a marriage between the guy and his daughter, and like not like whatever, and they're like mafia, I think, groups or something like that. But I remember there was just so much. It was, I guess it's supposed to be like enemies to lovers, but like honestly the enemy parts, they really did not like each other. Like it was really like a no. And then all of a sudden at the end she like has a mind switch when the guy tries to marry her younger sister, her sister or whatever, and because he's like, you're not gonna marry me, so I'm gonna marry her. And like, so if he got to that point, it's not really like, oh my gosh, they still got here together. You're kind of like, okay, I'm over this book. Again, it's not a bad book. I think it was a quick read. It served what it was supposed to. It was entertaining. I finished it, and it was really short. So I feel like it served its purpose. That's why I still gave it 3 stars. I just don't think like it's first pick. You need to go read it. Like I think if you read it, it's a good read. It's not something you can like. A lot of the time, if you're reading something like this, I feel like you have to read like a series, or like it's like a big, like a long thing. I feel like it's more of a commitment than this is just super quick. So I liked it, didn't love it. All right, then I read Sage and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second one in the, what do you call it? Shadow and Bone trilogy. And I did not love this book either. I also gave this one 3 stars. So again, liked, didn't love. I feel like with this one, it was very, the same thing happened over and over, and you're like, okay. And then you get to a part where like the ending is actually pretty good, and that's how it still made it to like 3 stars, because the ending really did pick up. But I felt like you got to a point where I think if I'm correct, she like, weeks would go by, but like obviously she would say it in a sentence, you know what I mean? Like, so it would be like this week, then this month, then we did this. And so I'm like, I feel like it was just, I honestly don't even see it was as a necessity. I think it was just like kind of like, I don't know. I don't even like any of the characters really that much right now. In this book, I should say. I didn't love any of the additional characters. I don't love the main characters that much either. And so I'm kind of like, at least the first book, all the other, like, the whole storyline was still new, so I, like, enjoyed it. But, like, this point, I'm like, okay, we need something better. We need to go up, not down. And we went down, you know? I can't get my hair under wraps. Like, look at my curls. They look so good, but, like, what am I supposed to do with this mane? I do not know. It's always the top, huh? Maybe we can leave it like that for a second. Alright. And then, oh my gosh, then we read Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh. I love this book so much. Very quick. Also, mafia romance. It was very quick pace, I should say. It's less than 300 pages. It's a pretty short read, but I feel like it was just so good. You're like, oh, turn the page. I did read it in like a couple hours, not gonna lie to you. But this, I love the main girl, and the main girl freaking like sets fire accidentally to the rival gang's house, and then so the dad wants to like keep the peace. He's like, let's not go to war over this. You can just have my daughter. So the guy from the rival gang marries, well, the son of the guy from the rival gang, marries the girl from the rival gang. Oh my gosh. Whatever. And so it's an arranged marriage. It's a good time. Again, very quick pace. I like this too because they get married early on. So like it's not sitting here like you're not, it's hard. I know that there's so many books that I've read, they're like it's before they get married, and so then like it's like, are they even gonna get married? I don't know, like what's going on. But like since this one was after they got married, they have to do basically like everything together. So like all of their scenes, the rest of the scenes after this is together for the most part, and I love that. I'm like, yes, I love when the couple is together, you know. All right, and then I read Midnight Ruin by Katie Robert. I gave this one 4 stars. I did like this one. I did like it better than the book right before it. I thought this one was good. I think this one too is like going back to the roots of like the first book. What is it called? Ooh. Neon Gods in this series, because we got to a point in this series where it was so much about like I don't want to say politics, but like so much about like what everyone else was doing instead of the couple. But this one goes back to the couple for the most part. There are some moments that are like, you know, about everyone else, which is fine. It's not that serious. Obviously, like there's not a moral to the story. There's a stuff is happening, you know, like, you know, you got to talk about it. So it's not that bad, but I do think that this one was just closer, going back to the original, and I'm like, okay, good, where it's just like, you know, you get the couple, like, you're figuring them out and they're figuring each other out, like, you know what I mean? Like, I like that. That's why I liked the series in the first place, and then I kind of went away from that. Now it's back. Hopefully it stays back. All right, then I honestly thought, like, that was going to be it for the month. I was kind of like, I'm done. Every other book I was reading was taking forever, and I was like, I don't want it. But for some reason, I got, like, an extra boost at the end here, and I finished The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I thought this book was so good. I gave it 4 stars. Didn't quite give it 5 stars, and I feel like it was just because it's a first book in a series, and those are hard to give 5 stars because you're missing so much. You're like, but I want more. And so that's how I felt about this one. I was like, I want more. And then this one, too, it's very, I'm assuming that this series is basically going to slow burn you to death because this first book, like, you don't even know who is the Cruel Prince. I mean, you know who the Cruel Prince is, but you don't even know, you can't even guess what's gonna happen, I should say. It's very, like, lots of surprises, but, like, you don't expect really anything, and it's very, the main girl, Jude, she's very, like, adventurous, so she's doing a lot, but it's not, like, what you think she should be doing. I don't know how to explain that without explaining it. It's just, you gotta read it. It's a good book. It was 4 stars. It was a good 4-star book. I think it deserves 4 stars. But, like, on the positive end of 4 stars. Sometimes 4 stars because they, you know, get, like, you're like, I gotta give you 4 stars because you did this. No, it's like, I gotta give it 4 stars because it was so good, just not 5-star. All right. And then I read You're More Than You've Been Told by Hosanna Wong. I thought this book was so good. If you have not read it, you need to check it out. This is basically like, so she's basically telling you, you know, like, you are more than you've been told your whole life. Like, you know, all those things that people called you, you know, in school, or like, you know, that people you looked up to, like, put into your brain or like got twisted about you or like said you were, you know, whether it's like, you know, people called you fat or people called you, you know, anything, you know, those names and those things that like you don't even know you identify as, but like they sneak up and like for some reason those are the things that are stuck for you. And so you know, she just wants to, like, I think she said, like, she felt, like, unloved or, like, fatherless, like, all these things, all these words, and she just went through, like, a bunch of different names that God calls you, and, like, it was so, like, eye-opening because you get to, like, it's like a thought shift, so you go through, like, she has you even there as, like, work things, and I didn't, like, write anything down in it, because I was like, this is a good book to, like, you know, see if someone else would want to read it after this one, because I don't know that I would read it again, but, like, you can even write down, like, when she says, like, just what those things were, or what those situations were that you were called something, or, like, that are stuck in your head that you can't get out, you can't get away from. She just has you write them down, and then you go to the Bible and, like, kind of, you know, change them, and then you can change it mentally, and it's just so good. Long story short, I gave that book 5 stars because I thought it was so good, and she's so well written. I love that, these, like, the other book I'm reading right now, so it's these 2 are the only 2, like, Christian books I've listened to on Audible, so far. It was just probably how I'm gonna do them all, because I love it, but they both are, the author's the one who wrote it, and the one who's reading it in Audible, and I love that. I'm like, yes! I love that. Alright. We gotta open up a package for this next one, because I love this book so much that I bought it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad because I have to wait for the next book to come out. But that is The Wolf King. The Wolf King by Lauren Palfreman. Palfreman? I don't know how to say her last name. Look at this book, first of all. It's so freaking cute. Love that. It's like a decent size. How many pages is this? Yeah, like 400 something pages. But honestly, I read this so quickly because you were like, I mean, I was in it. I was like, psh, hook, line, and sinker. I thought this book was so freaking bomb. So I don't read, first of all, I don't read a lot of werewolf books in general. I don't even know how many there are, honestly. So no idea, but hold on. But, so this book was werewolves, which I was like, oh my gosh, already winning. But this main girl, so basically, the werewolves are, like, supposedly bad, and so the girl, she's a princess to the kingdom that's basically at war with these werewolves. So, then the wolf king steals her. Yanks her out her bed. Oh my gosh. Yanks homegirl out her bed and then you get to see that play out. The thing with this one is it's giving, honestly, it was so good. First of all, everything was funny. It was funny. It was when it needed to be. It was like, oh my gosh, you got mad when you need everything. You felt everything, this character. It was so well written. It is so good. I cannot wait for the next one. But it's giving a little bit of ACOTAR. It's giving ACOTAR, and I'm like, I'm scared because of course I liked ACOTAR. Like, I wanted the series as a whole. I wanted to get that high praise, you know. I want it to deserve that, but I don't want it to give Tomlin and Rhysand, because the boy who would be like Tomlin is not giving Tomlin. Like, Tomlin had a lot of, he was just a okay guy, but he didn't have, like, when you go back and, like, if you read ACOTAR knowing what you know now, like, after the series is over, you can identify red flags from Tomlin. Like, honestly, I could identify some, you know, in the beginning, but you kind of just, like, look past them because you're like, okay, well, she's with him, so, like, you know. But, like, genuinely, when you go back, you can identify them. This character, I'm, like, knowing that because I go into books knowing if they're, like, if I know a book is gonna be, love triangle, whatever kind of book, I go in, identify, I'm like, okay, is that a red flag? Is that, and I'm like, he has no red flags, the main guy, and I'm like, if she makes him, like, into a Tomlin, I'm gonna be annoyed because she wrote him so well that, he's a good guy. So it's like, honestly, do not turn him, unless he turns evil or, like, he's playing her, but it doesn't seem like that, and that would be just annoying. It would be a cop-out, in my opinion. It would be a cop-out, because I'm like, she can choose between two good guys. That's fine. Like, she can do that, but the thing is that that's the thing. The other guy is not good. Rhysand is good to Feyre, but, like, this guy is just, like, crazy. What is his name? I forgot his name. Blake? I think it's Blake. Yeah, it's Blake. Oh my god. I want to reread this. Blake, anyway, he's really bad. So, whatever. He's giving, like, this dark, like, you know, morally gray kind of character, which is fine. We all love it. And honestly, like, again, either way she goes, I would be happy. I don't mind in this kind of thing. I just don't want her to turn the main guy, bad, so that she can end up with the, like, with Blake, you know what I mean, with the other guy. I don't want that to happen. Like, that's not necessary, and that will bother me if that happens. So, long story short, I'm excited and waiting for the next one, but I think I gave this one 4.5 stars because of that reason. Because I don't know. Like, the angst, I think is what it's called, like, like, that kind of thing. I enjoy that sometimes. Sometimes, obviously, it adds to a book. In this book, it felt like, for me, it was kind of hard at times. There was a few times where I was like, oh, I don't even want to read this, because if it goes the way I think it's gonna go, it's gonna bother me, and that's, like, it feels like it was too far. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. My opinion, 4.5. Honestly, it was, like, verge of 5 stars. I just felt like it wasn't giving me that 5-star, you know, like, it wasn't giving me fourth wing. You know what I mean? It was giving close to fourth wing, but not giving fully fourth wing. I think someone compared this to, like, a Wattpad book, which I don't think is it's not corny or, like, cheesy, but I do feel like it's very, like, the names are, like, Blake, James, like, very, like, I don't want to say plain Jane, Ryan, like, but it seems like it's very, I don't know how to explain it. It's just very, like, I don't want to say basic, but, like, there's some points are basic. So, but I honestly thought it was incredible. So, I 10 out of 10 think you should read it. It's open door, it's spicy. Honestly, I have not been saying that for any of these, but, hopefully I don't know, but sorry. Anyway, I think you should read it, and then we should all wait together for the next book, because I'm excited about that. I don't know, there was something else I was going to say, but I don't remember. Anyway, alright, last but not least, let me just make sure. Yeah, last but not least, again, I was not expecting to finish the books at the end here, but they, like, snuck up on me, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll finish it. I finished Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I did end up listening to it because it is free on Audible, and I loved this book. I think I ended up with a 4.5. I'm trying to think, though. 4? I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with a 4. I think I don't know, remember which one I said, but I think like based on my memory, it's giving a 4-star. I like this book a lot. I cannot wait to read the next one. I'm excited. My cousin is actually reading it, and we keep talking back and forth. I'm like, this guy's crazy. He's like, yeah, the author has no chill. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that. Like, this author's crazy. But I appreciate it. I think there's a lot of like very unique things. It's very different. And they do say it's Hunger Games, but it's not. Hunger Games it's like Hunger Games if it was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, Hunger Games is you're fighting for yourself. This is like if Hunger Games, if like, you know, a group of people fought each other, like if it was like groups, you know what I mean? So it's not, but the thing is that it doesn't even remind you of Hunger Games besides the fact that these kids are killing each other and they're like kids, but they're not even supposed to kill each other, okay? That's not even the goal of this thing. So that's why it's like, I can understand how people say it's Hunger Games, but it's not really Hunger Games. There's also, I didn't even know that they were like Apollo's had an appearance. Like, there are just different things, and I guess that was my experience with I don't have that much, that's my lack of experience with sci-fi. I also didn't know that it was very, again, sci-fi. I knew it was sci-fi, but I didn't know what that meant until you see it, where like they have like these cloaks where you can't see the proctor, like just a bunch of things. I think the reason why the reason I don't feel like it's a 5-star, I feel like if you miss something, you forget it. There's no going back. You have no idea. You can't even fill in the blanks for yourself. There's no assuming. You just don't know. And honestly, like, they don't fill it in for you in the book, and like, which is fine, but it's like, that's not my personal favorite. Like, and I don't want something to repeat over and over again, but I do like the reminder, oh, hey, and then you're like, oh, that makes sense. Because I don't know why, I don't remember them, I can't remember how they ended up starting the games they were playing, the, like, thing. I can't remember how that happened after they got their, like, initiation in. So that's why I'm like, I missed that, and like, I'm not going back to look for it, and I have no idea. Just gonna have to suck it up, because it's not really necessary. But like, I was listening to it, and I don't know if I just didn't listen to it, or if it like went through too fast. I think that's the thing with this one. Like, you either understand or you don't. You either understand or you don't, and if you don't, then whatever. Like, just keep going, because that's how I felt. Like, they were saying words that you're just, at least I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, they would just say stuff, and I'm like, am I supposed to know what that means? And then, like, sometimes they would, like, it's not, that's the thing. Someone said, I think it was, Destiny on YouTube, she kind of said, like, this book makes me feel dumb. And I think she said it was this one. And it's, like, not that it didn't make me feel dumb, and not that it's a super, like, advanced book. I just feel like it's a very, like, he's gonna say things once and that's it. It's not gonna be like this whole world building, like this thing. Like, you do get the world building, but it's like quick. It's like you see the world how he sees it and his thoughts, like, instantly. It's not gonna like fill you in on anything other than what the main guy sees. So if the main guy sees a gold, he's gonna say, oh, the golds are suckish, blah blah blah. Next, if he sees whatever, oh, like, it's quick like that. And that's what I think is so advanced about it, is that it's not, the author's not going to give you handouts, honey. You might as well be the main guy in this, because you learn as he learns. For the most part. So, I thought it was good. Not a 5-star, which is no big deal. I definitely recommend it. I cannot wait to read the next one. It's going to have to wait, because, whatever, I got a lot of books to read this month. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I know it was longer than I wanted it to be, but the last few books I needed to talk about a lot, because those books were so good. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Bye, nerds. Oh my god.